I feel like I'm gonna get too hot if I wear it on all the way.
I did this the other day, and I was like,
dude, I love it.
I feel like I was giving Emily.
I like it. No, this whole outfit, I'm like that. I would totally wear that.
I'm gonna say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad. I'm naked. Hold on.
We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth.
No, I feel like I've been trying really hard. Like when I dress for work now, because I can dress like this.
And you have your jewelry on, which is very me. Like I feel like I always.
I've been trying, but also I feel like, okay, so like to your point, like episodes ago, and like everything is like, like I've been trying to follow influencers now that like is more my style. Like some of them are a little aggressive, and like one day maybe I could be there, but like seeing it more just like curated on my feed is like, okay, like I'm piecing more things together, or like it makes me feel more confident that I can dress that way.
Also,
like
the way that you are dressed right now and your tattoos is like very much like encompassing a vibe.
Right.
Where it's like before, I feel like your tattoos and your hair and your makeup all gave the same energy.
Yeah.
But because like you didn't have like a consistent like style, it was like a disconnect. But like right now, I feel like I know just by looking at you like the type of person that you are, or like how the vibe's gonna go.
That's
you know
so
what
fun.
I mean?
I love that. That's a lot of fun, because I got this dress the other day too, and like me and some friends from work like went and got drinks, and like I wore it and like had like heels on that like I wouldn't have bought before, because I've been like, oh, those are kind of like mommy, but like they're cute, like with the vibe. And I had like a ton of jewelry on, and I was like, oh, I fuck with this.
Yes.
Like this is cute.
No, I know the one thing that I am looking forward to the most on having like more disposable income, or any disposable income, is literally buying so much jewelry because of Victoria Paris. The chunky jewelry and stuff. I literally so obsessed.
I'm like, I've been like more creative with like things. I like cut some shirts and like whatever, and then like, so last year for Halloween, I went as like a Peaky Blinders character, which is just like, I just looked like a whore.
The chain.
Yes. But I wore it as like a bracelet. And I was like, wait, this is so cute.
No, I have a belt that like came with like a little chain dangly thing, and I wear it as a necklace all the time, because I'm like, oh, it's like a cool silver chain. It's like cute, chunky chain necklace.
And like, okay, don't get me wrong, I don't have like expensive jewelry, but I'm like,
no, all my shit's from Amazon.
But like the H&M packs of like rings and shit that are like $10, like that's what we're on. And you know what? It's giving what I want for right now.
You know, and from a distance, it's fine.
From a distance, that's it. But like I need like different layered like necklaces. But I don't know. I've been trying and I appreciate it.
Yeah. I went to Nordstrom Rack the other day and actually bought a couple of like chunkier gold necklaces and some two rings. Yeah.
And the shoes that I wore the other night.
Yeah.
I was like, I want whiter, like not whiter heels, but like white heels. And at first I was like, I want them to be like strappy, but then I found these and I was like, it's actually like kind of a vibe.
Yeah. I got these like little pointed toe, like super 90s like kitten heels from Poshmark like a couple of weeks ago. I wear them every single time now that I ever want to like elevate a look. I put those on and they are so fucking cute, but they are like 3 years ago. If I saw those, I would be like, ew.
No, that's how I feel about a lot of stuff. Even like this, when I saw it, I was like, I would have hated this like even 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I feel like that'd be kind of like a little cute.
It's literally, I feel like all clothes are just how you style them. Like separately, like you're not gonna catch the vibe, but like once you style it, it's like, oh, this is cool.
I even got this like, I can't wear it right now because it has like a turtleneck, but it's like a ribbed, creamy, like turtleneck short sleeve shirt. Cool. Yeah. And it's like not cropped, but it's not like full length. So I was like, it's a really like nice length of it. And I was like, I cannot wait to wear it. But like being a turtleneck, gotta hold off.
Yeah.
It's a little early.
I have like a tank top that's like that, where I'm like, it's not necessarily a full turtleneck, but it's like a little half one.
It's enough to be like, it's not
and
that
I'm
time.
like, it's not cold enough to where it's acceptable to wear this, even though it's a sleeveless.
It's cute for fall.
Yeah.
And that's what I can't wait for. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, no, I feel like following the people that I'm like, okay, I want to like emulate your style, and just like constantly seeing it. And then like also seeing it in like different ways. So like I feel like at first I felt like very grouped of like I had to have this style and like achieve it. But then like seeing people take like even like more like preppy or like A-line clean aesthetic girly pieces and making it still like the way that I would want to like wear it, I was like, oh,
right,
I actually already have that. But like to me that was like too clean girl aesthetic to be like.
So I saw this TikTok the other day and it was talking about like there's like 7 different categories of like how people dress, and a lot of it is like crossovers of different aesthetics, but it's a commonality that they all hold throughout each category is more of a tone and less of like types of clothing. So like what I forgot what it's called that like I typically dress as, but it's like one that has a bit more of like a masculine / like structured like undertone of like all of the clothes. So like even when I'm dressing like quote sexy, it's more of like sultry / like not intimidating, but it's not like a girly happy like whatever. Like it holds that same kind of like masculine elements throughout all of it. But there's like there's like 7 different things. I don't even know what it's called, so this is a horrible like I shouldn't have brought it up. But all that to say, like if you figure out which one of those you are, it also makes it way easier too, because like
but I feel like you can still cross over into all of them. It's just like
but it's easier for you to like make anything out of your clothes when you fit one, because like you can still have different aesthetics, but it's like if you know like what your vibe is, then it's way easier and you don't feel like you never have anything to wear, because you're like, wait, I can turn any of this into something that's like sexy or business professional or casual or dressy, but it's all the same vibe, if that makes sense.
It's like the jewelry versus like non-jewelry, the way you do your hair, your makeup. I feel like this like changes like the tone, or like the shoes even.
Right.
But you could still have the same outfit on, just like either kitten heels, and then or you could have like that same exact outfit on and have on like slides.
Yeah, literally. I'm trying to think. I think I like the TikTok. I just want to like say what it's actually called, so it's like you can reference it. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, that is the most like helpful information ever. Fuck. Of course I didn't like it. Or I'm sure I did. I just don't know what the thumbnail looks like.
I hate that.
That's not it. That was about femme cells. Pretty close. I don't know. I can't find it. Anyways, yeah. So you look great. I like your outfit.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So last episode we recorded in the like ahead of time. This episode we're back on our normal schedule, so it comes out 2 days after we record. So me and Kellen haven't seen each other in like a week basically,
and I feel like every time we go home
over a week,
and like when both of us go home too, like we just like don't talk.
I don't talk to anybody, you know. And
but like there's something like beautiful about it.
No, it's so nice because I realize that, and this is also kind of depressing, but I realize I'm on my phone so much more when I'm alone because I'm bored and like almost like depressed, and I'm trying to like feel something. But when I was home, I literally like don't ever get on my phone because I'm also around other people. So I don't feel the need to like fill that void or like have sound going or whatever, you know what I mean? So like, no, when I'm home, I'm the worst communicator ever. If you send me a text, I'll respond like 7 days later. Like one of my friends was like, she's going through like a breakup, and you know when your friends go through a breakup, they like text you all the time and whatever, as they should. Like you should be there and whatever. But I was so bad this whole past week. Like she would send me like screenshots and like text me stuff, be like, I'm so sad, and I would respond like literally 48 hours later and be like, oh, sorry about that. She's like, I'm good now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I also just like, I don't know what it is. It's like when I'm not here, I am not on my phone.
Well, because also like it's your break from your reality, in my opinion. Like when I go home, like it's a whole different reality, because like when you go home, like you're seeing like people, you're catching up, like you're kind of eating like the bag of chips like that's been like at the bottom of their drawer that like you never would eat in your life. Like you're just like doing things that are just like, I'm on vacation, even though you're not on vacation, because it's like
it's like out of your routine.
Yeah, so like I feel like that's also part of it. And for me, it's like I don't have many moments with my family, so I try to like soak that in when I am there, because I only see them like 3-4 times a year if I'm lucky. So like I get that, but also like I'm not a friend, or we're not friends with each other where we're like, oh my god, why don't you answer me?
Yeah,
talk to me.
Well, and,
like,
and none of my friends are like that too, which is great, because it's not like nobody's feelings were hurt.
Right.
I just felt bad.
Well, and I also and for me too, like I also knew like you were at home, so like I also purposely was like, okay, this isn't serious. Like I don't need to bother you with something like this.
Yeah, and what's so crazy is like I'm like I think it's because my job, my actual job, and this job are very much the same thing. Like they very much overlap. So I'm always doing the same thing, and that always involves me being on my phone or on the computer. And I actually took the full week off of work and literally doing that. And like I had one day where I was editing the podcast, and other than that, like I didn't do anything. I was like, oh my God, I don't realize how much of my life I'm just doing like the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'm realizing that's what's driving me into like this depression or whatever. And it's not like because of this, but it's like I think my job is so similar to this.
Yeah.
And I actually have a one-on-one with my boss tomorrow, and I wrote down this whole list of things like after going home and realizing, I'm like, okay, I need to be stimulated more in my job. I need to do this in order for me to like get out of this what I'm needing.
Yeah.
And how are we going to make that work kind of thing? Because I was like, holy shit.
Well, that's like, for me, mine's the complete opposite. Like, I mean, now I'm moving and talking and like doing like making beers and martinis. Like, it's a whole different, or like I'm managing and like having to listen to children basically and like solve their problems. And like, I mean, fuck, like a man the other day, we had to like call the cops because he was just like belligerently drunk and like wouldn't leave, wouldn't pay his bill, like didn't know his name, like crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like very different. And then like this is so like slow, like to actually have to like sit and focus on one thing. It honestly takes me like, I have to like psych myself up to like sit there and like edit the YouTube video, because
luckily
like,
I have Adderall for that. Like I'm not even kidding. No, I'm not even kidding. Like I really don't think, well, obviously I have ADHD, so I couldn't, but like I really think it would be so hard for me to go from like doing this at work and then doing this after work.
No, like and that's where,
without it.
We're almost like I probably needed to like focus on it, because like for me, like I have the intention. I mean, today it was like different because like I knew like the whole just like video formatting, like I knew it was gonna take me a while. Didn't think it was gonna take that fucking long, but like whatever. For me to like sit down and be like, okay, you need to focus on this for like at least an hour, that's like not my brain.
Yeah, you can't get up and go walk away because you're gonna lose pace and like screw it up. And
like no, it's a whole different, like it's like stopping and being like, oh fuck, and just sitting, and you're like, I'm like, oh
yeah,
and how do I do this?
Yeah,
how do I sit still and not like be moving 24 fucking 7? And then also the other part of it is like, I'm so tired. Like once I come to like a day I have off, I
was gonna say, I feel like now you associate like that stagnant with rest.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to be like, no, this isn't rest time. Like this is, we have to still work.
Right. Well, that's also true because of like me and like working out. Like it's hard to like motivate myself. Like, you gotta go. We're doing it. Like,
right.
We gotta go do it today.
Right.
Like, but like, no, it's the same thing. Like it's just in a different way.
Yeah.
But like, it is good to have like two totally different things, but they're so opposite spectrum that it still is like a problem.
Like finding that like middle ground of like where you're comfortable.
Yeah, where like yours is like so the same that it's a problem, and mine are like so opposite that it's a problem.
Yeah. No, it is very much like become mundane, and I don't want that to happen. I think we've talked about this a couple of times on the podcast, but it's like, in order for me to be like the best version of myself, and I feel like this is for everybody, and unfortunately I think it's because we grew up in a capitalistic world where it's like you gotta climb the ladder and whatever. I feel like for me, I have to be slightly uncomfortable for me to like be productive and be creative and have inspiration and like motivation, and right now I am so like completely comfortable that it's hard for me to want to do anything else, because I'm like too comfy. I'm like, well, why would I try harder? Because like this is really easy as fuck right now.
I get that.
So like that's where I'm like, okay, no, that's like a bad mentality to have. Like I need to be slightly uncomfortable, that way I am trying a bit harder.
And I think like even in this, like for us, and I'm sure people can relate, because it's even like with working out or cooking or anything that you like love to do for yourself, it's like, okay, but like what's that next step?
Yeah.
And like I think right now for both of us, we're like in this like middle ground of like, okay, like we enjoy doing this. You and I have a whole pattern down. Like you don't have to be like, I'm coming to your house at this time. Like, bitch, I know.
Right.
Like it's like such like a routine. Like we have like a very well-oiled machine at this point. But it's like, okay, like what's our next step?
Yeah,
what are we
where
working on next? Where are we going? How are we going to keep growing? How are we going to keep evolving? Like whatever. And that's for anything in life.
Totally.
And I feel like we're both in this specifically together in that like weird limbo, but then also like in our external lives, like in a limbo. So it just creates this big like, what the fuck? So I mean, honestly, taking a week off of everything probably felt so nice.
It was so nice. And also like even for this, like I mean, we don't have to talk about it on the podcast, but like I have a bunch of like things that I want to do, and I like have like a better idea of like how to start it and how to get there, and like what needs to be done in order to get there for like our business and this and all this stuff. So like it was definitely necessary, and like it was way more productive doing nothing than I thought it would be. You know what I mean? Like the fact that I got so much
like,
out
you
of it.
didn't have to like be
cram everything
into
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I went home, just hung out with family literally the whole time. I don't want to say reconnected, but like I got together with a friend who like I hadn't seen in like a year, a little over a year, maybe. And so that was like a fun thing to do. And we've talked about this before, but like me and you have very small circles of people, like to the point where it's like I can count every person who would care to be at my funeral on one hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I might need two, because
friend wise.
I was saying, including family.
No. Like friend wise, like I got 3 to 4 maybe that I would be like, yeah, I want you there.
Or like that would even be like, I have to make it there to go.
Yeah. And so like when you lose a friend, or like a friend moves away or whatever, like
you like slowly feel like the drift. It's not even like in the way of like a friendship breakup, because that's not necessarily what this situation is for Emily. It's like just like the differences of life, and like this is your childhood best friend. This is somebody who like you've done life with. Might not be a significant other, but it's like somebody that like you've shared
at some level, like a partner.
So like, and then the like slow drift away, which everyone has experienced, whether it's in a friend or an actual partner or a family member or any sort of connection, like you've experienced it. And it's like one of the saddest things to like, because you don't know. And with the catalyst of the situation was me and this person had lived together for like 4 years in college. We both moved to Nashville. She moved for work, I moved for grad school. We're basically neighbors with each other. So for 6 years now, we've seen each other damn near every single day. And if we haven't seen each other physically, we've FaceTimed, we've called, we've texted. We're keeping in contact like so regularly. And then about a year ago, or a little over a year ago, she moved back home to our hometown. She got engaged and got a job there, and whole
so
different part of life.
Oh, totally. And so like that was like the first thing that like I wouldn't say put a wedge in it, but it definitely like put some separation between us, literally physically, and then also in a philosophical way of like, okay, like you said, we're on 2 different pathways in life right now. Like I'm going this way, you're going this way. So we have less and less in common. And because of whatever reason, like communication started to dwindle like it does anytime somebody moves away. And I hadn't kept up in contact with her besides like very sparingly and forever. And like I've been talking to my mom about it, and I've talked to you about it and whatever, and it's just like it's one of those things where it's like you're so sad because you're watching it like almost like from an eagle's eye perspective happen, and you're like, but what do I do about it?
You feel like you have no control in the situation. So like,
yeah,
not that I've had this, well, I have had this recently, but like it's like when I went home for like my friend's wedding, we like kind of rekindled that and like had the time and like whatever. So like it's on the mend, I guess. But like my sister is really going through that right now. And like my sister is like you and I, like very close knit circle. Like I cherish my friendship down to like, she probably has like a total of 3 friends. Yeah. They're like legitimately her friends. And this friend is like my other sister. Like I grew up with her and whatever. And like, I know for her, like, right, so her friend is getting married right now, and like the process of like the bachelorette party and like the showers and like all that, and like her friend, and this is like similar in your situation, but like not the same, but like her friend has a new friend who's like her adult friend that she like met in adulthood, and like they live close to each other, so like they're getting dinners and drinks and going to the bars and like doing the things of life together now, like where my sister doesn't live close to her. Right. So like she's seeing it from the outskirts, and like she's like, yes, involved in like her wedding and like all of that, and she's a bridesmaid and whatever. But like literally this past week she texted me and she's like, I feel so sad because like I never in my life thought that like I wouldn't be the one to plan her bachelorette party. And she's like, I know that sounds like so stupid. Yeah. But I never thought in my life that like I would be like on the back burner of it. I always thought that like I always knew that you would plan it because like whatever. And she's like, and I always thought that I would like work. Sorry, take her name out.
I'll bleep it out.
Sorry. Like she
Kellen is the queen of
I'm
fucking
so bad at that
doxing people
because it's just like show. Because also like it's so hard because like, you know, you're just talking.
I would say it does not feel like we are putting this on
the internet because we sit here so chill and like this is how we speak to each other. So like whatever. But like she has an older sister too, and so she's like, I was like, me and her would plan it together, and like she like texted me this week and was like, I just got a text of like a full itinerary, and like I put it out there too, like, hey, I want to plan like this or that, or like be a part of like I know that like she isn't, her maid of honor is her sister, but like her sister's pregnant, so like not gonna be at the bachelorette party, so she like was like already very much like, hey, to her other new best friend was like, hey, if you want to do it together, like let's do this together. Right. But like everyone now is trying to like show up and being like, well, I'm her best friend and I'm this and I've known her from this. And my sister's like, I literally was born with this bitch. Yeah. And like that's such a hard like concept of life. And I feel like you're also kind of in that similar situation because like she is getting married and she has a whole other life, and like since she doesn't live here anymore and she lives there, like she has other people that she leans on for her everyday issues. Yeah. And like that's such a hard thing about adulthood that like people just don't talk about. Yeah. In like the light of you feeling like you don't have the control. Yeah. Of it.
Totally. The thing about like adult friendships, like you were saying, like they're not easy, and also like I don't think adult friendships have the same like I don't know how to put this, not characteristics, but like they don't have the same elements that adolescent or even like a childhood friendship has, where it's like that just carefree time of like coexisting and not doing anything. Like you have no plans. Like the plan is we sit on the couch and we like watch TV. Like that doesn't really exist in new adult friendships.
No, because
in the ones that you've had since you were a child, yes. But like in most newer adult friendships,
the other thing I think that's hard about that is like in the old ones is you expect it to continue to be that way because like that's how you've had the friendship, but it's gonna shift because like now they have their together, or like we all have 9 to 5s, or not all, but like
we don't have time, like, and also it's like this pressure to like do something in the allotted time that you have together, because it's like, if not, are we wasting our time? And like or are we wasting this opportunity where it's like, in reality, do we really want to catch up over drinks?
And like it's so hard to like get together.
I would rather just sit on the couch and like scroll TikTok with you and just and talk. but that doesn't feel appropriate in an adult friendship.
Correct.
It feels like we have to go to the bar, or we have to go to a restaurant, or we have to go get coffee. It's like, can we not just like sit in our car in a Walmart parking lot and fucking shoot the shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that not okay? And it really isn't normal in adult friendships to like have that carefree element, because I understand everybody has their own life and they have time, and when you only have like 3 hours to do something, like it feels like the right thing to do is to go to a restaurant or whatever.
Also, it's like, you're not coming to my house, I'm not going to yours. Like,
right.
We don't have to make like a show of it. Like, we're just gonna go get dinner and then we can go our separate ways. And I think it feels more like businessy because it's like more transactional. Like, it's we're doing the formality, we're doing the thing. Like,
it's almost like checking it off the list, and it's like to like make sure that we did it. It's so much fun,
and I'm happy that I did it. And like, even like, honestly, you and I haven't even gotten dinner in like so long that like even that would be like fun to go do. But it's like at the same time, like also our friendship's a little bit different. We're like, we don't necessarily have to get dinner to be like, oh, we can catch up. But like in those friendships, like maintain them, because like for her now, not like because of where she lives or anything like that, but even if she was here, like she's going home to her significant other.
Totally.
She's going home to her will-be husband, and like that's just a whole other thing. Like, to have you over to get a drink,
it's a burden a bit.
Yeah, so it's easier
also
to
like
just go out and do that,
right,
like business.
Like, you're not only interrupting like that one person's space anymore. It's like another human's involved, so it's like you have to think about like how they feel about it. Like, do they want Emily showing up 3 times a week to sit on the couch and be there all the time? It's like, no.
And I feel like this is like a phase outside of like drinking friends, because I feel like you could still have these like fun, easy, like whatever type of friendships where you do those things, but I feel like that's like when that's when you're still in like your drinking phased era. Like, I think it's like the cusp of like, oh fuck, I can't go out every weekend. I can't spend my money on that every weekend. I have to grow up and do other things, and like I have responsibilities on weekends and not just like getting shit faced Thursday through Sunday. And I feel like that's when like the switch of it all happens, because like that's a really lonely period.
No, it's so lonely because it's like, okay, well, if I'm not going and doing all of these things, nobody's gonna want to hang out with me, because we've created that idea of adult friendships. Like, you have to go do those things.
I think like the other thing for like you too, and those like relationships that have been like such like a longevity in your life, is like we did holidays together, we did birthdays together, we did all of those things that like no longer are a thing. So it's not even like outside, and that's where I feel like that's what hurts the most about those friendships, when they like start to kind of like take a turn, is when you're like no longer, it's not about the dinners. No. And it's not about just the hanging out on a Friday or night or Wednesday night or whatever. It's like those like monumental moments where like you would
celebrate together. You stop doing
and like and not in like a way to call her out, because I'm not trying to like whatever, but it's like even her wedding isn't going to be in the United States, and like you're not in a position to like afford to go to her wedding, and like that's something that I'm sure you've never thought would ever be a question.
It's definitely like a very guilty feeling on my end too, because like I don't want to not be a part of it, and it's like sucks that it's like because of money I can't. And not to say that like that's a unique experience to a like destination wedding, because I'm sure that shit's gonna happen in the States sometime if there's somebody holds a wedding in a different state and I can't afford the plane ticket or whatever. But like that's another part of like growing up, like you don't think about shit like that, where it's like, oh, I can't be part of this big day for you because like of my own shit,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
And like it sucked. And like after dinner, like after we got dinner, we talked for like so long, and like I'm the most awkward human being ever when it comes to goodbyes, because like I'm very, very much a crier, but I hate crying in front of people. And I also do not like touching people. Like the closest people in my life, I will never touch you.
Yeah, we don't touch.
Like it weirds me out. And so like
even like, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, so cut this for a quick sec. So with the YouTube video for this past week, it's gonna come out late, and I'm sure if you're like looking for it, you're gonna be like, oh my god, what the hell? Because like I know it's like this is after the fact that it'll come out, but still it's gonna be late. And like because I've been having technical difficulties, I couldn't figure it out, whatever. And Emily was like, oh, I can help. And the whole time that you were like, oh, I can help, I was like, we have to sit close to each other on the couch to do that. That's what I was thinking in my brain.
I thought you were gonna say when they left and they hugged us.
Oh no! I was thinking about today.
Yeah,
when I was like, I had to figure this out.
I was like, I felt more comfortable hugging them than I think I would feel comfortable hugging you.
because they hugged us and they left and they were so nice, so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, great.
But like that's what I mean. Like I can do that with strangers,
but, like,
and like
we
people I
didn't
just
hug when
met.
I left.
No, but like I would never do that to you.
No, but I was literally thinking. I'm not even shitting you. You're like, okay, when I get there, like I can help you, like whatever. And I was like, fuck, we have to like sit close on the couch, and like that's weird. Like we don't do that. Besides like filming or like whatever else, like
but that's very
life,
performative.
Like, like everyday life, like we sit on opposite ends of the couch, like, and even on because like my couch is pretty big that like if we're touching,
it's intentional.
We're trying
like
to touch.
somebody.
Your couch is still kind of the same way, but like okay, if we're like a little bit closer, okay, but still. So I was like, that's so weird. Like how are we gonna sit? And like I'm getting new like chairs for my kitchen like tomorrow, and I was like, okay, but we can't sit there.
No, I feel that because literally like when she was like, we didn't park in the same area, like we parked in different areas downtown, so like I had to go walk to my car and she had to go walk to hers in like opposite directions. We like got to that breaking point of the fork in the road. It's like, okay,
we've like already said your goodbyes, but like you're still together,
and then we like look at each other and it's like bye, and then she like looks back and she kind of like does like a little frowny like a, and I just go, and I turned and walked away because I'm like, if I stay here any longer, I'm gonna start crying, and also like I can't touch you, so then I'm just crying next to you, and that's fucking weird. And so I was like, okay, bye. And then I like made a TikTok about it where I was like, okay, the internet's not real. I can say whatever into the ether and nobody will ever see it. People saw it, but like it doesn't feel real to me. So I just like put my feelings out there, and that was like my indirect way of telling her that I had a good time. I did text her and I was like, hey, like I had a great time, like blah, 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 like we need to do this more and I need to be more intentional with this friendship. And she was like, oh my God, me too, like X, Y, and Z. Like it was great. But all that to say, it's so sad that like it takes so much effort to maintain a friendship like that and for it to like feel equal to the friendships that you have with the people that are close to you. I mean,
that's like, so that's like a whole thing in like therapy though. Isn't even like about a significant other relationship. It's about like relationships in general. I mean, like even to your parents.
Totally.
Like, which should honestly like your parents and siblings in a normal situation in a normal household and like with outside of all the extra factors should be like the easiest relationship to maintain.
Right.
And it's not.
Right.
And that's even like a thing like in therapy like I talk about is like how I feel bad that like I don't necessarily speak to my mom enough as like I used to, or like, but also like her and my dad are like in such like a cute little place of like their marriage and like love each other and whatever. And like, I'm so happy for that. But then also it's like, I never fully had that like full relationship with my dad, but like, I don't know. I feel like
now
that's what
I'm gone and it's kind of too late. Like, did I miss the mark or should I have tried harder?
Yeah. And it's not even just about like a friendship, but like relationships are work. And I feel like they also like social media is a big proponent of like, relationship, like significant other, like relationships are work, and like talking about that, and talking about like honestly a lot of negative sides about being in like a like romantic relationship and partnership, which like isn't always necessarily true, but like the thing about it is like every single relationship in your life has to be intentional, like family, sister, brother, friend, significant other, dog, like it has to be, so like coworker, it's all intentional, and like
it definitely is. And honestly, like to this kind of idea of like intention behind friendships and like whatever, I feel like a lot of that burden is placed on women specifically, especially looking at relationships. But I'm even thinking like friendships between girls are, like we were saying, so much harder when you aren't around each other all the time, because like you're having to put in more work. Not that you're doing more, but like it's like you have to be so much more intentional, because we can't have that lack, like there can't be like a dip in it or you're gonna feel sad, and like it's not gonna be as satisfying, and like you guys are both it's gonna be too much and like too hard, where it's like I feel like for a lot of relationships between like men with each other, that doesn't really matter. Like they could go move away and like catch up once a year, have a big, you know, meet up at the bar, hang out, and it's fine. And that friendship's able to maintain because they have much more, like, I would say, low standards of intimacy in their relationships between their friends, and like lower expectations. So I think that kind of comes into play when straight men get in relationships with women, and like they're getting, quote, taken care of for the first time. And that's when the intimacy, like, they only get intimacy from friendships or from relationships where women get intimacy from friendships as well. And so like we're used to that behavior. Like, we're used to like getting each other cute little gifts for holidays, or sending each other like
even like you and I, like for Easter, get each other like baskets. Like what?
Or like literally like something like that, or as simple as like, I'm gonna get you like flowers or coffee, or I'm thinking of you, so like I sent you $5 to your Venmo. Like little things like that are so normal for relationships between women, friendship wise, and are not at all normal for men in their relationships, because they don't have, I can't say they, because everybody gets pissed off when I generalize. Most men don't have intimacy as part of their friendships.
Well, I mean, that's even like back to the point of me saying how it's like hard to start like separating like your long-term friendships, because it's like you're not doing holidays together anymore, and you're not
like all
doing
those
birthdays,
like,
where
intimate moments are kind of getting harder to keep up
with. But where I feel like in male relationships, like male like friendships, that's not even a question in their brain. Like those things aren't even like, I'm not going out with the boys to like celebrate his birthday. Like, yeah, I might go to the bar if I want to, and it happens to be his birthday, but I already planned to go to the bar. Like for us and like a female friendship, like I'm going to your house. We're getting ready together. We're going to take pictures. We're making a picture wall. We're doing all the things. You're getting gifts. We're getting alcohol.
And I'm
it's
making
your
sure
day.
that you feel special.
I want you to feel special. Where like, I feel like most male friendships is very like, oh, well, like it's your birthday and I just want to go to the bar.
Yeah. And like, honestly, like even
I'll buy you a shot or beer when we get there, but like that's it.
And I feel like going back to,
if I remember
right,
like,
it puts the burden on the women when they get into relationships, where it's like birthdays is a perfect example. It's like, I feel like unless the girl is planning something, the guy's not doing shit for his birthday.
And or for you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, like, I'm saying like, or like he's not even planning it for you.
No, that literally like exactly what I'm saying. Like, unless he is like being told by you what you want, like he's not doing it, because it's not a natural thing that guys do in their lives with other people, because like their friendships are so, and I'll go back to like, I grew up with two brothers, and so I watched them have friendships, you know, and like even like when my brother would have guys over to like hang out and like have sleepovers or whatever, it was so weird, because like my brother would go sleep in his bedroom and they just like leave them to their own devices for the rest of the night and be like, see ya, and like whatever. And then like they don't know anything about each other. Like to the point where it's like, I don't think, honestly, like my brother probably knows the birthday of like 90% of his friends, and like past that point has definitely never gotten them a gift for any holiday or their own birthday ever.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a gag gift that they all got together for like a 21st birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it's very interesting. And I think that's why for women, adult friendships are more difficult, because like we have this level of intimacy that is like expected and almost like required for us to feel like fulfilled from the friendship.
Well, and like we feel like whole by having girlfriends.
Community, yes.
We feel whole by having like a relationship with our parents and our siblings, and like we feel whole through that. Like that's just how women are raised. Like we're raised to be caregivers, and we're raised to be like there for each other and like pick the pieces up for like your friends and family, like people around you. Men are not.
Yeah.
I mean, the games that they play as babies show that versus what we play with.
Yeah, literally.
But like, I feel like that's a huge thing in that like my sister and I, like I might not talk to her for like a week or so, but when we talk to each other, it's like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like, oh, she's like, sends me little gifts, or I send her little gifts, and like whatever. It's like a whole thing. And like, I mean, that's just my sister. Yeah. Let alone like a friendship. And then like, I don't have a brother, but I've had a brother-in-law for the same amount of years that I haven't known him. So like, I can like, I guess look at it in that respect. But like, I see him and like, he is very intentional with his like very, very, very close friends. But outside of that, it's like, oh, I didn't buy you anything because I thought about you. Yeah. Or like, I'm not like, oh, it's like his birthday. Like, okay, when his best friend, no, this is actually being crazy. So when his best friend accidentally got his girlfriend pregnant. Now at the time they were like 26, 27, like old enough, like they lived together, they had a house, like they had careers, like whatever.
Like, we can make this work.
Right.
Yeah.
He was so like cried. I was at their house when he found out. Cried because he could not fathom the fact that like his best friend was going to have a different priority.
Oh.
Like different priority of like their rugby team and like their friendships and like going on camping trips and doing all the things that like they've done as friends because he has another priority.
Yeah.
Where like that is a little bit more feminine, but also like I feel like for us, we're gonna be like
used to juggling a million
exactly
things.
Like, oh my God, that's like, well, right now if either of us found out we were pregnant, we'd be like,
we got to get to a different state ASAP.
Like, yeah, no, like neither of us, but like at the same time, like if you were like, hey, I had a baby, like I'm having a baby, whatever, like once I knew you wanted it,
yeah,
I would be like, let's go, we're going shopping, we're doing this, like I'm getting your baby onesies, we're doing all the things. I'm gonna be
part of your
I'm
life,
making sure,
even though your life is different than my life.
Right. And like I'm not looking at it as a burden to myself, like, and the what ifs that we cannot do. I'm looking at it as like, okay, this is an added bonus to my life.
Yeah.
Like, Aunt Kellen, here I come. Aunt Emily, let's go. Get it together.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's like the difference. And like when I saw that, I was like, I mean, it is sad, like, because he was literally had the first realization probably ever in a male friendship of like, this is going to change.
Right.
And like seeing that
as
like
easy as it's always been.
Seeing that in like your late 20s.
Yeah.
To like have to come to that realization and never having to have that be a thing before is crazy.
Yeah.
To witness.
Well,
but
because
like,
also like I feel like guys for the most part, I'm generalizing again, call the fucking police. Even when they get into relationships, their friendships with their guys don't really change because we're never that deep to begin with.
Right.
Where it's like girls, like it's super common for a girl to get in a relationship, and because we are intimate people, I feel like for the most part, we put it's like everybody gets a piece of the pie. And when the person who's the most intimate with me is now added into my life, their piece is going to be way bigger. So all these other pieces have to get smaller. But with guys, it's like those pieces were never there to begin with. So like you're getting the same amount of intimacy as you got before, which was none.
Right.
Where it's like my girlfriend is getting some now because like I am intimate with her, but like I'm not intimate with you guys. So like I'm not missing out on your birthday present this year because I forgot that I don't have enough money to buy it. Like that was never a thing to begin with. Or like, hey, I can't make it on our,
but like
wine night because
the difference is like the other guys, like you're invited, like so like your brother, I remember like a little while back, like we kind of had this conversation like loosely, and you were talking about how like he got invited to something like from his like frat brothers, and like he like couldn't go, and he was like kind of upset about it, but you were like, they're not even gonna know. And he was like, he's like, well, what do you mean? Because they're so like into their brain, like they think that but like they didn't even like skip a beat. No,
they were like, oh, you can't come, cool, we'll just divide the total price by the remaining people instead.
Right. Like it like, didn't even, like, they're like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
see you on the next one.
Yeah, because I think he was like going on vacation with his girlfriend or something.
Yeah,
like,
it was literally like a beach trip, and like he couldn't go, and he was like, they're gonna be so upset. I'm like, no offense, they're not gonna care.
Like, and
because
they didn't.
Like you're awesome to be added, but you're not missed when you're not there, I feel like is the kind of the moral of the story.
And that's the total difference between like that right there.
Yeah.
Is the statement of this whole piece.
Yeah.
Because it's like for a female friendship, like if you're not there, like, and like, oh damn, Emily would have loved this. Or like I literally
like, you're like
even
missing.
Even like the other day I went to where was I? It wasn't like Home Goods. Where was I? Oh my God. But regardless, I was walking. Oh, I was at Nordstrom Rack.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking around, and there was like a little like Hello Kitty like hand sanitizer and a little Hello Kitty this and like a little anime shirt. I was like, oh my God, Emily would love this. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wish Emily was here because like she could see this and like this would just make her so happy. Like, not even to buy it, but just to see it.
Yeah,
This would make her day. And like I'm thinking that in my brain. And like to that, like that would never be a thing of like a friend, like a male friendship.
No.
Like the whole time I was like,
or it's almost like
it was literally Nordstrom Rack. Like it wasn't a big deal, but I was like
think of all the things we've sent to each other of like exactly something like that where it's like, oh my God, I saw this and thought of you.
Yeah. It's such like a thoughtful thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I didn't have to buy it, but I'm just telling you, like, I think you would have liked this.
Yeah.
Or even today, like my brother, we were talking about my brother's new job and like the products that he gets for free. And I was like, dude, I was talking to him and he was like, you can get all these things. And I was like, oh my God, you can get all these things. Tell me what you want. And like, I'll get them for you. Like, something that, well, like
even
that.
Like, even you saying like, I know it's like you said it so like innocently because it's just what you do. But like you being like, oh, I wouldn't like that, but Kellen would love that. Like the thought of that was okay, well, like she would love it. And like, your brother isn't gonna probably think to be like, okay, when I get my hands on it, like she can give this to her. Like, and that's not, I'm not even questioning or asking for that. But it's like the fact that like that was like your first reaction of like, I wouldn't get use out of this, but like Kellen would, and like she would love that. Is like, just like, I don't know. I feel like that element isn't there.
Meanwhile, guys, like they, like, I mean, you can see this at a gift level with a boyfriend even. It's like they know nothing about you. Until
that's what you get the heart-shaped necklace.
Yeah, until you force them to learn shit about you.
Yeah.
And same with each other. Like,
I mean, listen.
Half of these guys don't even know their fucking best friend's birthday, their middle name, the fucking shirt size that they wear.
My sister had to train her husband.
The fact I know all of my friends' shoe sizes.
Yeah.
Now that is what it means to be friends with other girls.
And I can like.
You know that shit.
I can like look at a shirt and be like, okay, that might like. I need to size up for Emily, like for this, or like size down because she has boobs and like whatever. But like, okay, my sister had to like train her husband to get good gifts because I remember vividly the first couple of years like they were dating and he got her like Christmas presents and she would come home for Christmas because it was at college at the time, so like they gave each other before like Christmas break,
right? And
she'd come home and be like, "This is what he got me," and it was like. At the time, like she was like this like hippie urban cowboy with like the fringe boots and like fringe was a massive thing to have, and like but skulls were also like
like that Tumblr era,
but like fringe in a way different way. It was like when you had like the thigh high like weird.
It was almost like the appropriation of like Native American culture.
It was like that. That's what it was like.
And it's like, I don't think we need to be wearing these.
But at the time,
but it was like when Coachella first started popping.
But at the time, that was what you did, like festival girly and like skulls, but like in like the right way, like right because like it's a whole aesthetic. Where he like got her this like black shirt that was like pre-cut off.
Oh Lord.
Like tank.
Yeah.
And had like this massive skull print that was like flowered and like whatever. And like in a certain way could have been cute, but like just didn't hit.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is what he got me. And we were all like, ooh.
Right. And it's like the thing is, it's like, have you ever seen me wear anything like this?
But it just looked like his like mom went to like Marshall's and was like, you gotta get her something.
Yeah.
Like it was, you know what I mean? Like it was like, it was thoughtful in the way he was like, okay, she likes skulls. But like that's where it ended.
Right.
And like now at this point, like he's so trained.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been together for like 12, 13 years at this point. But like,
yeah, hopefully.
So trained. It's like gifts are like an experience, or gifts are like things I don't need. It's like I would never buy for myself. And it's like their gifts to each other are like more like experiences at this point, which like I think is a really cool thing in relationships.
Right.
Because like you don't need things as you get older. Like I don't need you to go out and buy me another pair of pants. Like,
yeah, totally.
I already bought them for myself.
Yeah.
But like you planning a fun date night that like we typically wouldn't spend that like extra bit of cash on is fun and cool. But like, yeah, it took a little bit for him to get trained into that because I mean, some of those first year gifts were like,
well,
ooh.
And I feel like this also like, this is probably the last thing I'll say on it, but like when we look at love languages, and we know that that's like a totally made up thing that like a Christian pastor, whatever the fuck, made it up. So take that with whatever you want, a grain of salt or fucking a tab of acid. I don't know. But I think it's interesting that I would say the majority of men would not claim themselves to have like gift giving as a love language.
That's like the last item.
And I think that's...
It's all physical touch and words of affirmation.
It's the least amount of effort is what it is.
No, their way of love, like loving, is through words of affirmation and physical touch. Why? Because they don't get that anywhere else in their lives.
Yeah. Well, and also it requires the least amount of effort.
Yeah, but I think that I mean, yes, I don't think that's intentional of like the least amount of effort. It might be, but I really feel like that's just because it's what they lack of like anywhere else in life. Like, because like for you and I, like, not that we hug each other, but like I hug a lot of my friends. And like you can still get that like physical touch in that way. Or like I can like ha 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 laugh and like hit your hand and like hit your arm and like have that like moment. And it's not like in a weird way, but it's like whatever, where like you don't do that in bro like friendships.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like straight men are they be doing some questionable.
I feel like
shit.
Yes, but like yours, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I feel like that lacks like and words of affirmation, being told that like they're enough or that they're hot or that their clothing is cute or whatever. Like they don't do that.
Not normal. We're like in their culture.
You and I like. We literally started this fucking podcast like hyping each other's outfits up. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, that was a cool find. Like that's something so like I don't need that from a male partner because I get that from you. I get that from my sister. I get that from my mom. Yeah. They don't get that. Yeah. So I also feel like that's like, it might be least amount of effort, but I also just feel like they don't receive that in any other form of their life. Yeah. But then gift giving is like the last on the totem pole for sure.
Yeah, it's just like the worst. Like, and I don't know any guy who's good at giving gifts. I swear to God, I've never met one. Not a single one. My little brother is probably the closest. And he is not.
But you've helped him.
Oh my God. But that's what I'm saying. I think he's that good because of me.
And he's still like.
It's like almost there.
Almost.
Where it's like the intention was good. But
he's on the right path, but like took a turn.
But I think a lot of that turn is because like the effort's not there. It's like, I thought of the easiest thing. And I know you kind of like this. So that's what we're going with.
My favorite thing that you've ever told me about your brothers giving gifts was when one of your brothers gave your other brother like a notepad and pens and then a Campbell soup can. And that right there.
I'll tell you one gift I got. My 21st birthday, I got a bottle of nail polish. Still had the price tag on it. It was $3.99.
Oh,
and a box of Sour Patch Kids, like the size that you get at the movie theater. That's what I got for my 21st birthday. When I graduated college, I got a trophy that says adulting and an umbrella because it rains a lot in Nashville. Like, these people give the worst fucking
So my
gifts
21st
ever.
birthday, my sister got me. We went to a reggae festival on the beach in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And she got me a like bottle of alcohol with like a bunch of stuff for, like the night of like drinking and whatever, like, and got me like balloons and a vegan cake and like all this stuff. Yeah. And then got me a Hydro Flask, like wine glass. So we could have it so we could be like out and walk around. And then she got me like a recovery kit for like the next day. So that's how I have like my Hydro Flask that's like I've been carrying since I've turned 21.
Yeah, no, I've never used.
With a hydration
I've never used or really kept any gift I've ever received from definitely my older brother. Thank God my sister-in-law came into his life and like has that ability to
give you at least girly styled things
that I would enjoy.
Because you and your sister-in-law are different people for sure, but like also knows that like that's not an appropriate gift.
Yeah. And then my little brother is like just the king. I almost said the queen. Could be a
He'd
queen.
be acting like that.
Yeah, sometimes. He's the king of just like last minute, least effort as possible Amazon purchase gifts. Yeah, and they never quite fit me right.
No, but it's funny because like
which I take as a compliment because I think he thinks I'm skinnier than I actually am, because every gift I've ever received from him is too small. And I'm like, thank you. And then I look at my mom and I go, like, I got a child's extra large sweatshirt one year.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
And I was 22. I have D boobs. So I literally was
he said, child's extra large, it'll probably work.
Yeah, it's probably stretch.
He's like, that's probably like
that's basically
adult,
an adult
small, medium.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, like, my sister is definitely good at giving gifts, but that's also, she's a sister.
Yeah.
So I never, like, had that, but.
Yeah.
I mean.
I think that's also why my expectations for men are so incredibly low.
Yeah, and that's the difference between you and I.
Yeah. And that's what, but the thing is, I have high expectations of the people that I want in my life, but I have low expectations as men as creatures. Like, nothing surprises me that they do. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I'm not let down by them anymore.
It's so funny. So like I already said about how like this past weekend we had to call the cops and get this man arrested for just like being like incoherent and like aggressive and like whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's so funny because like right before this I was having a conversation with the other manager that was there, and I was like, you know, like I just like men find the audacity in every situation. And every single, like, you cannot have high expectations for like the way that they're gonna react and treat you and whatever, because like they find it. They find that audacity. As this man was getting arrested, the cops had to pick him up and walk him down the stairs, and he started calling the cops names and like being crazy and like saying outlandish shit. Like
God.
he got himself arrested because of like the way he was treating the cops. As like, because like every person in the scenario, even them, were like, where are you going? How can we get you home? How can we get you safe?
Like
And
they're
like
just trying to help him out.
Yeah, and like he just wasn't about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I literally looked at her after that happened, because it was like an hour before I was like, men find the audacity in every situation.
Yeah.
In every situation. And I looked at her and I said, what'd I tell you?
No, literally. Yeah.
What did I tell you?
On my flight home, we like sat on the tarmac for almost 2 hours because
so
when we were coming onto the plane, we scanned our boarding passes. We get on the plane. They do a head count or something. They counted. There was an extra person somehow on our plane. And it's the day before 9/11, mind you. And so they're like, somebody snuck in on the plane. We have an extra person on the plane. This made me also lose a lot of trust in just airlines in general and the security of it all being fake. Like nothing actually works and it's not secure and it's all a facade to make people feel better after 9/11 to just, you know what I mean? Like, that's okay. This will never happen again. But apparently the boarding pass scanner things don't really do anything. They just kind of like, whatever.
So I've seen them where like I've like turned and like looked at it. I don't remember what airline, but like every single seat is orange, and then when you put in like your like ticket, it makes your seat green because like you're assigned to that seat.
Yeah, so it will scan it in, but the issue is like they don't reference that at all. So what happened is we're all on the plane. They don't have a manifest of the boarding passes that were scanned because they can't figure out how to use a fucking printer to print them out. They don't have a digital copy of it. And like it's like fucking like cats running the circus here. And unfortunately, they were all women. So it's making us as a people look incompetent and bad. The guy sitting next to me is like just male Karen. Like
a Darren.
Yeah, like he just had to say something. You know what I mean? And the whole time he's like, oh my God. Like complaining to himself, but loudly, you know? And then so they're going around counting every person by seat number. However, the order of the names in the list are not in order of the seats. It's in order of the zones that we boarded in. So like I'm in seat 2C, but I boarded in the last fucking group because I don't have priority boarding or whatever. But I'm in the very front. So they're walking up and down the plane trying to take a roll or whatever. And this guy is just, oh, do you need help? I can help you guys. Like, no offense. Like, I'm not trying to like step on anybody's toes here, but I'm happy to help and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to help get this thing done. Hey, like, I'd like to talk to the pilot, like, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. And he kept trying to talk to me, like, to get me riled up. And I'm like, I'm already stressed out. You're stressing me out. I'm worried that these pilots' union hours are going to go over and we're going to have to get off the plane and they can't fly anymore because the flight attendant said that they'd already been on a 12-hour day. And I'm like, because this has happened to me before where the pilots have to fucking go because of the union laws. They can't fly any longer. So I'm like, oh my God, this is what's going to happen. And now he's talking about it. And then he goes, oh, and on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, so loudly. And I'm like, oh my God, you are not making this better. And then I'm like, because now I'm worried that this guy's going to start disrupting shit and we're going to have to all get off the plane.
Yeah.
Anyways, it ended up, the moral of the story, the booking shit or the boarding scanner is bullshit. And it just scanned one person 2 times. So on the manifest, it said we had 98 people on the plane. And when they counted, we had 97. But they were going off the log instead of how many people were actually on the plane. And so they thought we had one person over the whole entire time.
So they couldn't look at the log of names and realize that someone was scanned twice.
No. Because it didn't show up like that. It only showed up on like the version that they had in the airport, but they didn't have that. So this girl was looking on her phone of photos that she took of the screen. Like, this is how like low tech all of this was. And that's why I was like, what are we doing here? But anyways, yeah, that guy had the fucking audacity, and he just pissed me the fuck off, because I was like, we're all pissed off and we're all tired and we all want to go home, but like, this isn't helping out at all.
Yeah,
like you making these stupid statements and like trying to be like Mr. Oh, I'm better than everybody and like I could do this better, and then he's like, I'll get this fucking lady off the plane, like the girl who's like trying to get this shit figured out, and like he's like, I don't want to see your face again, and like under his breath so like, loudly.
That what I don't okay, so like I get it, it's annoying, no one wants to fucking do it, no one wants to be there, everyone wants to go home or like get to the next day, like what doesn't matter, like everyone has a place to be, that's why you're on a fucking airplane,
right?
Like, whatever. But like at the same time, like the person who is doing what she was doing is just getting the orders from like somebody else. Like she's just trying to perform the order that she was told. Like she's not making this up on the fucking fly. Like she's like has communication with somebody who's like, you need to do X, Y, Z, and she's like, okay, does it.
Well, so and to them, blah, 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 it's like a major security breach, and like that's their main concern is like, because he was like, why can't we just leave? And he's like, sir, there might be an extra, like, I don't know if this is sinking into you, like how serious this is, but like, what if there was an extra person on the plane who didn't pay for the ticket and it was very bad? Like, I don't know, brought something on the plane or whatever, because clearly they thought somebody just snuck the fuck on easily. And you don't want to know why? Is because earlier that day, somebody got on the wrong flight somehow and flew into Northwest Arkansas and was supposed to go to Nashville. Somehow. I don't know how this happened. So that girl added on to our flight to go back to Nashville later that day because of the whole situation. And that also added like a weird head count thing to the problem. But all I'm saying is, apparently it's really fucking easy to get on an airplane. They don't really fucking check.
But like literally when you get on the plane, every fucking plane, they're like, before the gates close, like this aircraft is headed to Philadelphia,
well, they kept saying that,
if you are not headed to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
get
this
the fuck
is
off.
your last chance before the gate closes. Like, how did you not?
I don't know how she did it. I don't know. But she looked cuckoo. And also she like had like a little carry-on bag when she was in the airport and they're trying to like figure all her shit out, and she kept leaving it places. And I was like, that's suspicious.
Also, she was probably stressed.
Why are you purposely like leaving that shit all over the place? Like, I don't know, because it was one of the things like, do not approach unclaimed bags.
Yeah, like
I might be a bomb in that shit.
I also feel like I'd be stressed if I was her. Like, I'd be so just like,
she was kind of
so
giving me discombobulated vibes though.
That probably
like she was like barefoot walking around the airport.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Yeah, like I think she was on something. But like, yeah, she got on the wrong airplane, flew all the way into Arkansas, stayed at the airport basically the entire day, and then flew home that night. Jesus. On a whole different airline. Like, it was just crazy. But yeah, moral of the story, friendships suck when you get older and they're way harder, and I think that's something that men never really go through.
Yeah.
Unless they are honestly, unless they've like been to therapy and like healed their inner child and have intimate friendships, which I just don't think a lot have or
it's
do.
Rare. It's rare. They're there. Rare.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's for listening to another episode of Society 97. My name is Cameron K. You can find me at Cameron K on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I'm Emily Starnes. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Starnsy. Go follow me over on TikTok. Posting a lot, and I mean a lot of videos over there.
I need to be better.
Trying to become a TikToker. So please interact with my shit. I post probably 4 times a day.
I need to be better. I'm terrible.
You can also follow the podcast on TikTok. We're at Society 97 Pod, where we post clips from the show. And we're also on Instagram, where you can DM us or do whatever over there. We're at Society97.pod on the gram.
And we have a YouTube channel where we post videos every single Tuesday and the video version of the podcast every single Friday. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and interact with us over there because we love to hear from you guys. Have a great night. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.